Hello, everybody. Jess Lowe, Structural Building Components Association, SBCA, easy for me to say. And another weekly update. It's April 24th. So in 1 week, it's going to be May, or it's going to be me, or is it going to be May? So if you get that reference, you might be a little younger than me because I had to learn about that last year. Anyway, want to wish Laura on our team congratulations on the new addition to your family. She's going to be out for the next few weeks on maternity leave. So congratulations, Laura. And if you usually work with Laura on anything, go ahead and Molly's kind of heading up those things until she gets back into the office. But again, congratulations, Laura and family. Really excited for your new addition to your family. Beyond that, also wanted to talk a little bit about our OQM coming up in Washington, D.C. That's going to be June 4th through the 6th. That's the registration deadline is May 13th is what got me thinking about May. So it's just a few weeks away. You want to make sure you get registered, not only for the OQM, but also the legislative fly-in. We're working hard on that. We also have a baseball game that we're going to go to, the Washington Nationals. And then also a group dinner, I believe that's at Del Frisco's, and really just a good opportunity to get back engaged with SBCA in all ways, shapes, and forms, and everything that we're going to be doing coming up to the summer, but then also into the summer months leading up to BCMC. So really exciting time for that. And really beyond that, I wanted to highlight all the things that our committees are doing. And a lot of times you hear, oh, that's committee work. Well, we act very much the same way, and our committees have been busy and a lot of things get done. And it's a great way for anybody to get engaged with SBCA to really impact what's going on and where our direction is. But specifically, our advocacy committee has been meeting regularly. And for a while, it was a struggle to get a meeting going. But more recently, we've been very engaged and really doing well, getting out in front of some immigration issues and trying to have a, unified voice on that, as well as some tariffs and then proposed legislation. So this is on a national level in advance of that legislative fly-in. So our advocacy committee has been doing a really good job that way. If you'd like to get involved, reach out to our staff. We would love to have you and get your voice heard to where we can make sure that we've got a unified representation of what our component industry needs to have done from not only nationally, which is kind of the focus right now, but there's also a couple other levels. You've got the state level regulations, different things that impact construction or specifically components or the transportation of components or any of that. That is also one of the ways for us as SBCA and our chapters to get involved. But then also locally with the adoption of building codes, next week, I believe Greg is going to be in Orlando for the ICC hearings. And that's several years in the making. And if you all of a sudden get hurt or something changes from your building official, it was several steps and several years to get to that point. We don't want you to be behind that curve. We'd rather you be in front of it. So really engaging with SBCA is a great opportunity to stay ahead of what's going on with the codes and to understand it, but also know that you have a voice in impacting what goes into the codes. It's not just something that happens to you. It's something you can be involved with to happen to it. So keep that in mind. And advocacy, our committee there is a great way to do that. Another one, E&T, they review a lot of the code change proposals, as well as some of the things we're suggesting as an industry association, partnering up with TPI and some others to really hopefully make the code a better place for component manufacturers to operate. So that's another one. E&T has also been busy with all the BCSI BDoc revisions, getting those things done and really reorganized and whatnot with all the BCSI stuff. So that committee's really done yeoman's work for the last probably year and a half now, but really appreciate everything that they're doing. Our governance committee met this week and really to kind of interview or talk and have conversations with potential board nominees. And that's one that we really actively manage who is on the board of SBCA and making sure that we've got people trickling in as people trickle out. And it's one of those that you can't get ready, you got to stay ready. And that's where the governance committee's been doing a really good job with that. We've got some really exciting names coming up there, as well as some for renewals, having those conversations. So again, that's one where we get people involved. We want to understand where they're at, what they're interested in, and those types of things to make sure that it's a good fit and that the SBCA, the association, is well supported and well governed by a great board of directors. So beyond that, management committee, they recently collected all the results from the financial performance survey. That's something that SBCA has been doing for as long as I can remember, where really taking in information about specific locations and kind of generalizing it to the point, take the names out of it, but understand how are you performing against others in your region, in the country, your size, that sort of stuff. We had over 200 locations respond this time, which I think is a record. So great job, Molly and the management team and the management committee. I think that's roughly a little over 20% of our actual member locations. So great job with that. So that data is going to be very valuable this year. And it's one of those that if you want access to the data, you have to participate. So next time it comes around, we're probably going to go above that 200 number. So make sure that you do participate in that. And for all those that did participate, look for that information to come here in the next several weeks, maybe a couple months. It takes a while to compile it all and make sure that it's all normalized to where it makes sense. Beyond that, membership committee met this week. We're in need of a few people to really kind of bolster that committee. I think that's an opportunity for people to get involved. We really need some people. Probably California and Florida are our two biggest states with the highest number of non-members. We really need to get some activity going there and really try to get people to join the association and have their voices heard with that. So membership is a great opportunity for people to be involved. And then again, our finance committee, that's one that's where it's a little bit more appointment. They met this week. Obviously, they manage the reserve funds for SBCA and kind of where we're going for the financials of the association. So they've got a tricky job with the market is what it's done and meeting with our investment folks in that way. But again, appreciate the commitment and everything there. And really kind of rounding it out in a committee that's not really been as engaged or not really sure what we're going to do with it, but safety. And safety is an opportunity as we've been working on staff as kind of a revamping our safety program. And the timing, I would say, couldn't be better, but it's really never been more necessary. I've seen some data earlier this week from OSHA that had over 1,200 incidents for truss manufacturers throughout the country. And I don't think all 50 states report on that. I think it's only in the 40s. So really a lot of incidents, OSHA reportable incidences that really had me kind of taken back. And that's one where we're really focusing on getting some information and some materials that individual component manufacturer locations can utilize. And that's one that we're really looking forward to getting out. And we're going to start talking about it a little bit more full-throated here in the next few weeks. And hopefully we've got something to share in the coming weeks to where you can engage with that as a component manufacturer and to improve your safety culture. Because really 1,200, that's a big number. I don't want to see anything bigger than zero. I know things happen, but it is one of those things that we can provide better resources as a trade association and look forward to doing that here in the coming months and years, really getting the number down as close to zero as we can get it and really making it representative of the machinery and the products that our industry specifically builds. So that's the goal of our safety program. Start looking for that here coming in the next few weeks as far as us talking about it a little bit more, but then having the availability of it too. And that best thing about that is it's not going to be an add-on pricing thing. That's going to be part of membership dues and like digital QC. So that's another one of those operational activities that we feel so important about that we need to make sure that it is just available to SBCA members. So with that, I've gone way over time. Maybe I should just reset this and have it 8 minutes long or something, but appreciate you coming along with this little message here, but we will talk to y'all a little bit later next week when it is May. Until then, peaks up, press on, have a great week, everybody. Goodbye.